Hi, it's Jane here from craftforjane.co.uk, and I'm taking part today in the Stamp Around UK video hop, and the theme for the 1st of May is wedding. And I thought, well, we are approaching wedding season, great theme, so I'm pretty sure we'll be invited to some weddings, certainly some evening do's this year. So I thought, well, I'll do a wedding card, and therefore I can get a step ahead. So just to let you guys know, in 2 days time we have a new annual catalogue coming out. I can't show you inside on this video, but to all of my regular customers, there'll be one in the post. Hopefully it will already be in your hands as this video goes live. If you would like to request a catalogue from me and you are not already a Stampin' Up demonstrator, just follow the links below to my website and you can apply. So I've decided to use something out of the new annual catalogue. So I'm using the Hues of Happiness Suite. That includes this amazing designer series paper. It's got loads of lovely pieces of beautiful floral artwork. And there's some patterns on the back as well, like rainbow, so almost like oil paints. Some great colours and patterns, really vibrant and bright, beautiful and summery. Just love it, absolutely love it. And the beauty of this is it has a coordinating stamp set and dies, which I'll show you just here. And these dies will cut out these stamped images, but they also cut out the images in the paper, which I love. As you can see, I've already cut a few out, and there's my extras just in there. So I have been playing with this. You'll see a few projects coming up in the next couple of weeks with this. And I've just, by the time this video goes live, I'll have been to my Pootler's team retreat, and I did an inspiration table, and I used this Hues of Happiness Suite for that. So I picked a colour theme, so I went with soft succulent for this one, and I've used some lovely background paper, and this is from the Heart and Home designer series paper just here. And I used the soft succulent cardstock, some basic grey matte layering. I used the beautiful ribbon, which is called Satin Shimmer Ribbon, and it's in soft succulent to coordinate as well. And I used some polished dots just to set it all off. And the ink I've used here is the basic grey ink as well. And I die cut out the flowers from the designer series paper and stuck them on. Inside I used the sentiment which says, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine, which I thought was really fitting for a wedding, which is this one just here. And I used the congratulations on the front. And I had some corner pieces on the designer series paper, so I cut them out and then I used them just in there. I just thought it really finished it off nicely. So I don't often do cards on my YouTube channel, so hopefully you enjoy this one. Let me know. So I started off with some designer series paper. I wanted to make this quite a big long card, and as you can see, I've done 8 inches by 8 inches, and I scored it at 4 in the center, which has given me this shape just here. Then I cut my matte layers. So my basic grey is 7 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then I think this one is 7.5 by 3.5. Yep, 7.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to get my Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue out, and I'm going to glue all of these 2 layers together, and then I'll get my ribbon out. So yeah, always handy to get ahead with projects. If you think to yourself, well, you know, I do it for Christmas and birthdays. If I know I've got birthdays coming up, I like to do a little bulk make of birthday cards that are specific to the individual people. So I'm going to try and line these up as best I can and press it down. Looks all right. So I think that's pretty centered. So I'll turn it over, just press it down again, and that looks good. I didn't tell you, actually, this cardstock is fresh freesia, and the ribbon that I'm going to use with I did try to use the fresh freesia ribbon, but I felt like this one looked better. This is the Highland Heather, so I think I preferred that. It just had a sort of a glitz to it, which I quite liked. So I am going to turn this over, and I'm going to put some tear and tape, just a little bit on this side just here, just to start capturing the tape for me. And then I'll pop a little bit of this tape, sorry, ribbon, not tape, I keep saying tape. I'll put a little bit of this ribbon on the tape, a bit high that way. I think I got a bit overexcited with this tape on the back. There we go, that looks nice. And then just on my grid paper, work out if I'm in the right place. Yep, I am. So turn it over, pop a little bit more tear and tape on the back. Try and do a bit more sensible placement this time. And then I'm going to snip off just here. And then I'll gently bring this over and just check I'm still in the right place. But the beauty of this is you can just pull it back off and reattach it if you're not. Have a little look. It's a little bit too high. There we go. That's a good match. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to put some tape on top to secure it into place. There we go. I will now take off the backing, put some glue and put it onto my card front. And then we can start decorating the card front up. So I wonder if anybody's got any weddings to go to this year. Any big ones? What about your wedding yourself? You could use this suite to make your invitations if you're a card paper crafter, to make your favours. I've got some great projects coming up with this. Like I said, because I did that Pootler's event inspiration table, I've made quite a few projects with this suite. And that means I get to share them with you once the retreat is over. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down, and then while that's drying I'm going to do the inside. So for the inside I've pre-prepared it. So I used one of the purple flowers with a little sprig off there, and these were the ones that were on the edge of the paper. I put that wishing you all the happiness you can imagine in grey, basic grey in there. And this piece of is cardstock, white cardstock, is 3.5 by 7.5, and I'm going to just glue that in there now. Yeah. So I hope I've had a fabulous time at this retreat. I'm so excited about it. Absolutely love meeting up. There's nothing nice than being in a team. And that does bring me nicely on to say that if anyone is interested in joining Stampin' Up, please feel free to reach out to me, as there's nothing nicer than having a team member with you, and you get lots of support. Okay, so now I'll leave that dry on the inside. I'm going to pop some of the flowers that I've pre-cut out. So I've pre-cut quite a few here. I've also die cut out the sentiment, which I'll pop just there, and have a little go at laying my flowers sort of in a similar pattern. Just to see what I like. This is the fun bit really. You can do with this as you wish. So I can make it a slightly different sort of style to the others, to the other one that I did. So that sort of looks quite sweet, doesn't it? It's more bunched up. I always have a tendency to want to do more, but you don't need to. Yeah, quite like the look of that. So you can have a little play around, find out what you'd like to do. So I'll just move these out of the way, and I know I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to get some of that liquid glue, and I'm going to glue the back. You can use tear and tape, you can use Stampin' Seal. I just seem to prefer this, particularly because I'm sticking over a ribbon and I want it to almost hold the ribbon in place for me. So you can stick some of these flowers up on dimensionals as well, just to remind you. And you've got a little bit of wiggle room, play room, initially with regards to where you stick things. I might pop that coming out there. Yeah, just pop this one just down here, because that is a bit that didn't have an edge. So make sure I've got that covered up, because I don't like to waste anything. Okay. And this is sort of where the personality comes in of the card, and you can make this your own, even when you're sort of using somebody else's ideas or casing a project. You can sort of put your own spin on it. So feel free to case this project. I'd be quite flattered. If you do case this project, please do mention that you have. That would be delighted. There we go. So that's there. Now I'm going to stick this up on dimensionals, so you can see how many flowers I've got left over. I could do a whole nother card with that, couldn't I? I'll get out my dimensionals here. I'm going to pop some on the back. Just going to put one in the middle either side there, one top end, and then I know I say this quite often, I like my sentiments to really be robust. They're going to travel through the mail and things like that potentially. So I do put quite a few dimensionals on the back of any sentiments that I pop up. I'll just take the backing off. Quite a pretty card, I think. It's very big, so you could make it, if you were sort of going to do a wedding card for a colleague at work, you could get quite a few signatures on the inside, couldn't you? So that's there. Quite like that. That looks straight, doesn't it? So the beauty of handmade is it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, sometimes a few sweet little imperfections make it more real and more homemade and more personal. Okay, so I'm going to use the polished dots now, and I'm going to use the clear ones. I'll pop a few of these on. I think these are beautiful. These are in the mini catalogue, so you can still get these definitely. I'll pop one down here, like that, and then one next to it just there. There we go. So, oh, shall I put one up in the corner like I've done there? Make it an odd number. I don't know what it is about that. I quite like an odd number sometimes. I'm sure there's something in some sort of mathematical equation that says odd numbers of things like flowers and cards and stuff like that works well. That's the inside of the card just there. That's the outside of the card. So there, these are the two wedding cards. I'd love to know which one you like the best. I think they're both really pretty, and I love the background as well with it. I think this is my favourite, probably because I'm a lover of green and blue, but this is a close second for sure. So I do hope you've enjoyed the project. I'll be looking forward to reading your comments below to see which one you actually prefer. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the products I've used, please follow the links below. I'm always so grateful. Every time someone orders, I send out a homemade card, a small gift, and if you use my host code, I send you out a additional gift as well. So anyway, I'll let you guys go now, and happy crafting.